Have a roll call by the secretary.
Here.
Here.
Mr. Love.
Here.
Mr. Burridge.
Here.
Mr. Huckabee.
Here.
Mr. Alexander.
Here.
Mr. Burgess.
Here.
Mr. Regan.
Here.
Chair announces that we have a quorum to conduct business. Welcome everybody for coming. And even though he's not special to everybody, he's special to us. Tim Gatz is here. Look, he already knew who it was. He was already smiling. He was the family favorite and the teacher's pet, you can tell. You brought Jack with you and Alan, I guess. And how you guys doing? He won't let y'all don't sit together. We're happy to have you guys, and I want to recognize the secretary for an announcement and presentation. Secretary Patterson.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the commission. I'm quickly turning off my phone. I forgot to do that. Today, we're going to acknowledge the efforts of many people of this agency on a matter that's of very importance to the citizens of Oklahoma and, quite frankly, the citizens of this country. As you know, our Work Zone Safety Awareness campaign over the years has been a week-long or a two-week-long campaign. But 2 years ago, we decided to change that because we saw a disturbing rise in work zone fatalities. If you recall the last report that we had, 88 people had died in work zones in Oklahoma alone. Of those 88, 84 of them were people who were passing through the work zones. So we felt like that there was a need to elevate the public awareness of what's going on inside a work zone. So last spring, we had the campaign Your Life Matters, Drive Like It. We put together social media, TV, radio, newspaper, word of mouth. And when I say social media, that's Twitter. You guys are Twitterers, right? Facebook. I'm going to ask Terry to come up here in just a moment to talk about some of the statistics that we found. But recently at the American Association of State Highway Transportation Officials meeting in Colorado involving media group, they received 2 awards. One is called the Excel Award, which is the highest award that you can receive from AASHTO involving media. And the other, I've misplaced it in my mind. Terry's going to fix it for me, but it involved our radio campaign. You will recall our radio campaign was where we used our own employees as the voiceovers on the radio campaign. Thank you for driving safe. They introduced themselves. So we were introducing people to the public, that there were really humans involved in work zones. It's just not a bunch of concrete and a bunch of trucks. There are people there that have put their lives out there, and we need people, drivers, to slow down. But again, it should be noted that 84 of the 88 were people who are not working on the road. They were people who were simply passing through. So we get into the whole discussion about distracted driving. We had a couple of great partners on this campaign, and they're here to celebrate the award. Tim Gatz, our favorite son, teacher's pet, whatever you want to call it. The Turnpike Authority, huge participant in this program, as was the Department of Public Safety, Highway Safety Office, and Paul Harris is here to represent the department. Michael Thompson, regrettably, the commissioner, could not be here today. But if I could, Mr. Chairman, I'd like to ask Terry to come up and clean up my faux pas here with not remembering what that other award is, because it's a big deal. And I'm very proud of the media group and the video guys for putting all this together. We did this in-house. We put all this together, got this campaign out. We think we've made a difference. We're going to continue this campaign 365 days a year. Mr. Chairman, could I have Terry come up?
You bet.
I think the secretary, director, covered most of it, but as far as numbers go, it's staggering. We're so glad to have this award. This is an award that we really compete for on a national level with my peers, and for us to get this after 25 or so years of trying, and for it to be on this issue is very near and dear to our hearts, as it is to yours. We want to thank you for making April the commission meeting, giving your time, the governor being here, supporting this, the senior staff with the leadership of the secretary and the deputy director and KC. They've been amazing on this. But most importantly, this is easy for us because it's of what the guys do in the field. And it just meant so much to us in terms of getting this award. And I can't thank my staff enough because this issue has always been very big to me, but we finally were able to pull it off in the sense of making it so effective. And it's all in-house, as Mr. Patterson mentioned. The agencies who get this on a national level, the states that get it, work with an agency, and we did this in-house, even though we entered with consultant, because we wanted, it's a tougher category, because we wanted to be fair about some of the funds we spend on the public service announcements. So huge. And not only did we get the Excel Award, we also got first place in the radio spot, the love letter, we call it, our crews in the field. And we can play, if we can play that for them, it's a 30-second, that'd be a good man behind the scene.
And now, a message from Oklahoma highway workers to the drivers they see every day.
We just wanted to say how much we appreciate you guys.
We know times on the road are tough sometimes.
You're already running late.
And then traffic slows you down because of a work zone and all that stuff.
We just wanted to say how much we appreciate it when you slow down.
Even though our lives matter,
So do yours.
your life matters. Drive like it.
This message brought to you by the Oklahoma Highway Safety Office, the Oklahoma Turnpike Authority, and the Oklahoma Department of Transportation. And now.
On the message boards have been a huge hit. And to give you an idea, that week, for example, we had about 3.1 million drivers see those. Just one number. And then Facebook likes, it's unprecedented that you get about 8,000 likes when we first put this campaign up. So a lot of it is due to the creativity of my staff and with the help of Visual Studios, which we thank for this spot. But just behind you is the picture of what I'm referring to with the April meeting, where you spend a lot of time on this, and you wore the vests. I think that did it. That gave us the... So thank you again. First, we're going to do the radio spot because we got first place in that. And some of my staff, Annalise Meyer and Lisa Salim, were involved in that. So if we can call them and the Visual Studios, all of you, please. Let's do that award, and then we'll do our Excel Award and our partners as well.
I'll get in the back, I'm tall.
And of course, Turnpike was great. They partnered with us, offered to help in any way, and the billboards are a big reason that we were able to do the billboards with them. Highway safety was supposed to be here, but unfortunately, I think we are missing them. But we're going to their event to present that award to them as well. Again, thank you all. We could not have done this without your help.
Terry, before you leave, tell me the story you told me, because, you know, in the AASHTO world, there are 3 ODOTs. We're the big ODOT, and then there's the other 2 little ODOTs. Were you approached by those other guys?
Yes, it was awesome. No, Ohio DOT and Oregon both, right after the awards came up and said, "Can you send me everything you have?" I was like, "Why? Because you don't have to change it from ODOT." No. So, but they're very interested. They're going to run the radio. They're going to do a radio one with their guys, kind of off of us, and they're going to use all the other components. So it feels really good when they come up to you and ask you for all your creativity, and we can say we did this in-house. So it was awesome. Stole the web address before they did to ODOT years ago. So I got that call too from Ohio and Oregon.
We had no doubt that you would be number 1. And we won't mention in this public forum that Paul Harris didn't make it, but Paul Harris is going to be here. So if you see Paul Harris, tell him we missed him. Appreciate it, Mr. Secretary, and congratulations on those 2 great accomplishments. Item 115 is the approval of the minutes of the August 7th meeting.
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Please vote. Motion passes. Items 116 through 118 is the consent docket. If there is a commissioner that would like to pull an item off and discuss it separately, we will by unanimous consent, or we'll hear a motion.
Motion to approve.
Have a motion to approve.
Second.
Have a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, please vote. Motion passes. That's the end of the consent docket. Item 119 is the programming items. Mr. Tiegler will present those.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, members of the commission. Item 119, my programming item. This is in Mays County, Commission District number 8. Department requests approval to program a project to repair vehicle impact damage to US-412 westbound over US-69. The estimated cost of this project is $35,000 using state aid funds. This project can be ready for a November 2017 letting, and the party responsible for the damage is known. Approval is recommended. Try to answer any questions if you have any.
Heard the presentation. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Second. We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Please vote. Motion passes. That's item 119. Item 120 is engineering contract supplements.
Thank you. Item 120, I have 3 parts this month. Part A is a statewide, all districts. It's on-demand airborne LiDAR mapping. This is with Bearing Tree Land Surveying. The aggregate increase is $250,000. Part B, Seminole County, Commission District 3. This is for preliminary engineering and final design plans for US 270 over Carter and 8 unnamed creeks. This is with Tetra Tech. The supplement not to exceed amount is $74,570. Both these projects are in our 8-year construction work plan with a scheduled let date of 2018 and 2020. And finally, Part C in Tulsa County and Commission District 8. This is for preliminary engineering and final design plans for I-444. This is with CEC Corporation. Supplement not to exceed amount is $109,087. Both of these projects are also in our 8-year construction work plan with a scheduled let date of 2018. Approval is recommended. I'll try to answer any questions if you have any.
Item has been presented. Do we have a motion?
Motion approved.
Have a motion?
Second.
Have a second. Any discussion? Please vote. Motion passes. Thank you, Mr. Tiegler. Mr. Adkins will present the lettings.
Mr. Chairman, members of the commission, item 121 consists of the final November 2017 and the tentative January 2018 bid openings. And the department recommends approval of item 121.
Thank you, Mr. Atkins. What's your pleasure?
Move for approval.
We have a motion.
Second.
Have a second. Any discussion? Please vote. Mr. Atkins, thank you. Item 121 passes. Item 122, Mr. Leonard will present the information-only change orders under $75,000. And he will also present item 123, which is the change orders greater than $25,000. Do you have any questions of Mr. Atkins on the change orders less than? I don't believe they have any questions. You can move to the greater than.
Okay, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, item 123, parts A through Z. These are the change orders on projects with a cumulative total of change orders greater than $75,000. Your approval is recommended.
Thank you, Mr. Leonard. Any questions for Mr. Leonard? Anybody care to make a motion?
Motion to approve.
Have a motion to
Second.
approve. Have a second. Any discussion? Please vote. Motion passes. Mr. Leonard, we appreciate your service at the podium. Mr. Dales is going to present item 124, the awards. He's loose and ready to go this morning, aren't you?
Yes, sir. It's a good day. Good morning, Commissioners, Mr. Chairman. Item 124 is our recommendations from the August 17 bid opening. It is recommended that the following items from that bid opening referred to by Calder be awarded. That's Calder's 15, 20, 35, 40, 43, 45, 60, 90, 100, 130, 135, 150, 160, 180, 190, 195, 210, 250, and 260. This includes our recommendations for award, and your approval is requested.
Heard Mr. Dales' presentation.
Motion to approve.
Have a motion to approve and a second.
Second.
Any discussion? Please vote. Mr. Dales, we appreciate you. Your motion or your item is passed. Item number 125 is the director's report. Secretary Patterson.
Thank you again, Mr. Chairman, members of the commission. I got 3 items that I wanted to bring to your attention. The 8-year plan is, as you know, the department's been working on updating our 8-year plan and bringing it to the commission for the October meeting. We're in the process now of visiting with each one of you with our recommendations to you individually before we bring the plan to the entire body. As I mentioned last commission meeting, this has been a very frustrating 8-year plan development, primarily because of funding. One of the things that we've seen is the fact that we're having to slide a great number of projects. I don't know off the top of my head, but what percentage of projects we're sliding, but I can tell you that we have one division that's over 60% that we're moving from one year and sliding it out. We have another that's, I think it's the lowest division is 32%. So there's projects that are being delayed, and that's going to cause us to increase our spending and asset preservation so that we can keep those roads going until we can replace them and those bridges in the air until we can replace them. So it's going to cost us more. It's the old pay me now, pay me later kind of deal. But one of the concerns that I have is we know that once we get to 2020, we will be at less than 1% of our bridges will be structurally deficient. A goal that this agency, this state, and primarily this commission put on on a path to being the top 5 in the country. But as we look at this, we know that it's not sustainable, because we know that we have to replace 90 bridges a year after 2020 to sustain staying in the top 5, because we have so many bridges on our system, 6,800. We have to replace 90 a year. I will tell you that I believe we're going to add 5 this year, and we may have added 5 last year. So the sustainability of our good bridge system is in jeopardy. It's something that we need to address. We could put together a plan that would sustain our bridge system, but it would be at the jeopardy of everything else that we should be doing as an agency. So we'll have more discussion about that when we meet with you individually, get your thoughts on what path, and make sure we're going in the right direction. But I look forward to those conversations. The other thing is we got a little contract authority from the federal government. Each year about this time we get a fourth quarter redistribution. Allows us to spend money that we have. And so this eases the restriction a little bit. I don't know how to quite explain that because it's a bit complex. The $52.9 million of fourth quarter redistribution will allow us to accelerate a few projects and get them underway earlier than we thought. And then I want to thank you for awarding the contract to the Lexington Purcell Bridge. In 2014, Casey Shell and I adopted a phrase, you know, it takes longer to get there than you think it does, because of all the many trips we took down to Lexington and Purcell, because that bridge was closed for 4 months. We went down the day it closed, and we went down several times after, to the day we were able to reopen it after we spent $22 million getting it reopened. That bridge was nowhere in the 8-year plan 3 years ago, and you just awarded the contract to replace it. That's kudos to this entire agency. We were able to do a design at risk. We've talked about that before, where we did our design and our environmental process concurrently rather than consecutively. It's more expensive, it's risky, but we were successful. And that's because of partnerships of the Federal Highway Administration, state, the Historical Preservation Office, and others to work with us because they understood the urgency. That bridge became an emergency project that we could not declare an emergency for because we had no design. It was nowhere to be found. We did everything we could to the best of our ability. We can't do another one like this because the people will expect their bridges to be replaced this quickly. This was an all-in effort. And I want to congratulate this agency for getting it done, and thank you for allowing us to get it done. And I know that we are about to begin construction in that area. If you remember, Lexington Purcell is 2 towns, 1 community. The kids from one town to go to the other school, and I mean 10,000 cars a day. With the closure of that bridge, we created a 45-minute detour on what is typically a 2-minute drive. So we're excited about getting this bridge replaced. We won't be closing it while we replace it. We're going to build it alongside. But we're really excited, and I know the citizens of those 2 communities, and I know Commissioner Overland is extremely excited about it. So that's all that I have, Mr. Chairman. I'd be happy to answer questions.
Do we have any questions of the Secretary? Go right ahead.
I have a comment. I just, certainly there's quite a bit of excitement within the department to get this project to bid. I know back when the bridge was closed, the demand for the communities, cities, towns, and the rural communities that surround and utilize that bridge on a daily basis was extremely important, and they had no way to do it by themselves. We had to organize buses, if you recall, to get them in and around that issue. But the bigger thing is to bring a project that wasn't even on the radar to fruition in such a short period of time. I want to give it up to the department, the senior staff, Division 3. It's a big deal. It's almost a task that I would have never dreamed that could get done. And quite frankly, I thought it would be way over budget or over estimate, and it is not. So I'm enthusiastic about it, and I think that not only is the department excited, but Lexington and Purcell and the surrounding community should be ecstatic today. This is a big deal for them. Thank you.
Anybody else? One thing for certain, we're now bridge experts, aren't we?
Yes, we are.
We've rolled them over. We're going to pick one up and get it over here before long.
Yes.
We've propped them up and built new ones, and you know, you look out over this crowd, there's some guys that know about bridges now. That's good. Anything else come before this commission? We'll hear a motion to adjourn. Motion to adjourn. We have one.
Second.
We have a second. We better push these buttons, and I'll hit it, and everybody can go home.